Welcome to the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. My name is John.
And I'm Sarah.
And you know what? I've got to do something here real quick. Just keep talking, Sarah. I got to do cable.
Just keep talking. We got to hook up to our cable audience so that our television viewers can watch us along with our web viewers.
And here we go.
Which is what John is doing
what I'm doing right now.
And
all right.
We're going.
Okay, here we go.
Right now, should be hooking up.
There we go.
Should be going. Right now. Well, we're turning pink.
Yes, here we go.
There we go.
Start. Boom.
So, interesting
done.
weekend.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Interesting weekend. Busy
and if
weekend.
you're just joining us on cable, sorry about that. We were just getting everything up and running.
Technical
back
difficulty.
up. Yeah, it's more like faux pas on John's part. But thank you very much for joining us. Hope you had a good weekend.
Yes. Yeah. Did you have a good weekend? You were running around.
We were going crazy. It was a busy weekend. I mean, it started off with like gas leaks. Gas leaks on Friday night, plus football, plus all kinds of stuff.
That's right. That's right. And Festival of Trees.
Festival of Trees.
Teddy Bear Tea.
Teddy Bear Tea.
And all that stuff.
Black Tie Gala.
Black Tie Gala. And you came in your khaki shorts.
Well, I snuck in. Now, if you have to understand, the Black Tie Gala is the event on the social calendar for Calaveras County in the holiday season.
Oops, daisies.
Yes? Grayson, okay, all right, thank you. All right, sorry about that. We had a producer off camera there. All right.
The Black Tie Gala.
The Black Tie Gala is the social event of the season.
Yes, it is.
Everyone was dressed to the nines. They were impeccably dressed. And I'm the schmuck that shows up, and I'm going to take a couple pictures.
Exactly. And they barely let you in, huh?
They did.
They did.
So I stood behind a potted plant for about 5 minutes, took a couple pictures.
Click, click. Yes.
But it was...
Oops.
It was truly a wonderful event. And the Ironstone Room...
There was an Alhambra room. Yeah,
the Alhambra room was just really, I mean, with all the trees and some of the people sparkled as much as the trees.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
I bet they did. And it's Seroptimus International, Calaveras County, that actually puts that on every year, the weekend before Thanksgiving, typically. And you can go view the trees. The trees are still there until the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Right.
So you can go down there. It's free to view them, and local businesses and individuals actually decorate these beautiful trees for us to enjoy over the holidays.
And I guess we'll go back to a little bit of hard news. And
yes.
The big event of the weekend was the gas leak. Well, it ended up being a non-thing, but it was caused a lot of disruption. About 4 o'clock... 3:30, 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon, there was a gas main that started leaking across from the engineering company and also the chiropractic office in San Andreas, right on Highway 49.
Yes.
It closed Highway 49 for over 3 hours. And there was a lot of things because this was a home playoff game for Calaveras High.
Yes.
So Friday afternoon, they were, because they actually had to evacuate basically from Main Street to Mountain Ranch Road. That whole section was evacuated. And then they were trying to decide, okay, is the game going to be called? Is it not going to be called? Is it... so there was a lot
you never know what's going to happen.
Yes. So the game ended up going on, but it was quite chaotic. And so for us, we were actually heading down to Escalon to try to do the away game.
So
we were trying to juggle a phone. We're juggling the phones, going, "Okay, are they going to call the Calaveras game? Well, we don't know yet. Okay, all right." Yes. So it was a bit exciting. And also one of the things is wanted to say is if you watch the Friday night away game, this was our first experiment as an away game, and the network connection that we were using down there did not go well, and we want to apologize. And this is one of the things that you're going to have to let the community cable TV know and stuff, is having a broadcast as an away game at less than stellar quality worth it. Because I think there's probably going to be some people that say, at least we know.
Anyway. Yes,
but there may be some expectations of, is if we're doing an away game, that it may not be what, even the lower standards and some of the sports ones have been, than general broadcast quality. But and I think this have to decision, and that's what we're going to talk about this week and stuff on, internally is if we have a network connection that is really iffy.
Yeah.
Is it worth it running those away games? Some people will probably say.
Are you going to watch it anyway?
Yeah, some people will probably say yes. If there's good audio and some video, like, well, at least we'll know and we have something.
The question is whether you're going to watch it anyway. Whether
correct.
It's, and eventually it'll get better and better.
It will. But I mean, this is the thing is if we're broadcasting from one of the local schools, we know the network, we know what we're dealing with, and you can predict on a more consistent product. If you're doing an away game on unknown network, and literally we did not have time to drive down to Escalon the 2 or 3 days before and go test stuff because just time constraints. It's anyway.
So you just have to let us know.
Yeah, on your expectations, say,
email us
we do, at news@thepinetree.net, or let them know at the cable access,
Community Cable
Community
Access.
Cable TV, 754-4021, and let them know if we do, if it's an away game, and if it's or forget it.
Just forget it.
Because one of the things that happened to us, I don't want to belabor the point, but one of the things I want to say a little bit is we tried for the first quarter and everything else to do a higher quality connection because it said that our connection speed would sustain it. And what would happen is we'd start going, then it would just purr. So you'd get in. So then basically by the half, we had to drop back to about 150K connection, which is just... Yes, you can tell what is happening, but that was the best sustainable push speed we could get, and I apologize, and that's something that, you can't know that, and some
until
of these things.
You're doing it. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly. So there you go.
There you go.
Let us know.
But I guess if you haven't checked the local, because I guess the papers don't have it yet, but Calaveras did lose. Calaveras lost. And to Modesto Christian, it was down to the last couple seconds, and it was a very, very good game. The score for the Bret Hart Escalon was 42 Escalon, Bret Hart 7.
Yes.
And we have some clips up there of the last scoring drive for this year's rendition of the football team. They had a great season, but it was. They just didn't match up well against Escalon. Some teams they match. Some teams
Sometimes
even if they're
it's a good match.
It's a good match if they didn't match up well. And the Calaveras score was I think it was like 36-34.
Oh, so it was a close game.
Real close, right down to the last minute. But Calaveras did lose to Modesto Christian as well.
Okay. But it was a close score.
Very close.
Okay.
Very close games. And want to congratulate both the local football teams on a good years,
well.
Very good years. It was entertaining to watch both of them. Wish them the best, best going forward. Calaveras is always at the top of their game, consistent. They took league again. Bret Hart, you can really tell, is on their way up as a football program.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll watch them next year.
Yeah.
And so what else happened this weekend, John? You made it to the Teddy Bear Tea or no?
We had someone that took pictures for us.
They just
Teddy
aren't
Bear
up
Tea.
yet?
So no, they're up.
Oh,
they are
okay.
up. Now here we have Teddy Bear Tea pictures.
And this was actually a sold out event. This is usually sold out, and this sold out as usual.
Oh yeah.
Out there at Ironstone.
Yeah, if you go to our site, there's about 30 photos of the Teddy Bear Tea. And this is like the another society event for the local
little guys, little girls, I guess.
Or
I
the moms
say.
that want to take their kids, right?
That's right. That's right. And then you, like I said last week, you see the poor boys who are the only boys and no girls.
The token
boys, yes. Who the mothers and the grandmothers all get together to take that one boy to the Teddy Bear Tea. So that's always, interesting to watch.
Now, Sarah, you had some interesting stuff this weekend.
I did have an interesting weekend.
She did some presidential stuff.
Sort of. Yeah. I went down to the Nixon Presidential Library, which was very cool, and I went to go see the Dead Sea Scrolls down there as well. And that was very cool as well.
She was telling us that she had the honor. This was like a private.
It was a private tour.
Now, who was your?
It was a staff member, a Nixon
Okay.
staff member, actually took us around, and a friend of mine actually won this in a silent auction. So always bid on these silent auctions. Then we had lunch with him, and it was very interesting because I learned things about Nixon, President Nixon, that I never knew before.
Did you come away with more admiration or less?
I came away with more admiration
Yeah.
for him, actually. And I think anybody going down to the Nixon Presidential Library would as well. And he came from more humble beginnings than I thought he did.
Yes.
He comes from
He was
an
a man
agricultural
of the, man of the
family.
soil. Wasn't a Methodist background?
Quaker.
Quaker, that's
Quaker.
right. That's
Quaker
right.
background. And it was an absolutely fascinating tour to get to know who Richard Nixon was a little better.
Now, I thought the perspective, and I know we're going off tangent
Yeah.
from local news, but one of the things that always struck me about Nixon that I think in the larger perspective is a lot of people don't realize, and even most Democratic historians will agree, that the 1960 election with Kennedy was basically stolen. You know, it wasn't like
But
Gore.
Nixon refused to.
Right,
He refused to have a recount because he thought it was bad for the country to question presidential election results.
I mean, it wasn't like Gore, Bush, close. This one was literally
taken.
And there was some mob stuff on some of these different. You probably know
Exactly.
better than I. Wasn't it some Ohio precincts and some other?
Yeah,
stuff?
they just were. There was very
it was
fishy,
just well, it
fishy
was
to say the least.
Yeah, and the Kennedys were actually very, very nervous the first 90 days into that, and basically there was some secret meetings between. Did they bring that stuff
No,
up?
they
There was
didn't
some
talk
secret
about that.
meetings between Nixon and Kennedy to where Kennedy basically, Nixon decided that he wasn't going to push forward because he didn't think it was in the best interest of the country.
Exactly.
But I
Which
think
says something about his character right there.
Right.
I think.
But I think there was that was the genesis of maybe some of this paranoia of the Watergate years,
But the thing that struck me about the Watergate
We've lost
era,
our entire audience.
Exactly. But what struck me about that is he was not the first president to do that.
Right.
There, almost every president who had that technology before him did exactly the same thing.
But I think we're talking. He had that fatal flaw in politics. He just wasn't personally likable, right?
Personally likable, I think.
I think that was the
and obviously there's a lot more that went on, but it was a really interesting tour. So if you're ever down there, I would definitely recommend going to the Nixon Library. And they've done this fabulous thing for the holidays. They have this whole room set up with trains.
Oh, really?
Yes, electric trains. And they have like the Thomas the Tank Engine trains, and they have the Lionel trains.
Okay.
And they have a San Francisco, and they have a Disneyland, and they have a Halloween land, and it's very cool. So if you happen to be viewing from Southern California near the Nixon Library, I would suggest you go and see that because it's very cool.
Go out to Yorba Linda.
That's right.
And
and go to the Nixon Presidential Library.
Yeah.
And you'll find that maybe Nixon was a little different than you thought he was.
And isn't that true with most? A lot of public figures. When you dig in behind the scenes, you find out more.
Well, a lot of them are sort of these overachievers who are kind of insecure, and they're constantly working hard to make it work, Yeah. And it's interesting. One thing that I did want to say, though, that I didn't realize is that he was apparently the first one to introduce the idea of national health care in the early 70s. So there's a Republican.
Right when he pulled
that.
stuff off the gold standard, is that the?
I don't know.
Okay, no, just kidding. Okay, we got really obscure.
But anyway, Board of
really
Supervisors. Yeah, this is sort of related. Board of Supervisors tomorrow is a pretty light meeting. Actually, they're talking about zoning amendments. One actually jumps out. Let me get to it, and that is one in Arnold, and it's for a zoning amendment. From unclassified to single-family residential for 7 acres into 18 lots, ranging from 0.3 acres to 0.72 acres. So that's the one that jumps out as that it's kind of 18 residential lots.
Right.
But the rest of them are just sort of basic zoning. And then there's also a study session which will discuss the on-site sewage program and propose a new fee for the department, which
Fee
is
schedules.
yeah, fee schedules at 1:30. So other than that, that's all that's really going on there at the government center tomorrow. It's kind of a light load. It is Thanksgiving week, so maybe they didn't want to tackle anything super, super heavy.
And overall, even most of the contractors we've talked to and everything else are fairly pleased with this septic.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
not.
the
There
way
shouldn't be a lot of controversy
a lot of
tomorrow on that.
contention. Exactly. And also, Victoria Erickson has left the Chamber of Commerce as the executive director to go and form her own consulting business, apparently.
And she's also now a Fair Board member.
She's a Fair Board member, and she's engaged.
And she's engaged, yes.
Wow, talk about doing everything at once, I tell you. So, we look forward to seeing her in her new capacity.
Yeah, and we did talk to some of the chamber board directors and stuff like that, and they wish her well in future endeavors. But I do think there's going to be, in some ways, the chamber is, in some ways, maybe at a crossroads in the fact that they need to decide, and as the county grows up and the county matures,
exactly,
having a chamber that is a, more like a service club in the fact of the fundraisers and the other stuff like that, although that meets the fiscal needs of the chamber, as far as keeping the coffers full. In some ways, it may need to grow up as a little more of a business advocacy tool and a recruitment tool.
The Chamber of Commerce, I mean, it's essentially a lobbying organization. The
Right.
Greater Chamber, the California
Right.
Chamber of Commerce, of which all these smaller local chambers are a member of, and they are business advocates, business lobbyists, if you will. And the individual groups need to sort of step up to the plate and contribute to the whole.
Right.
So, we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah. Another kind of a interesting one is Operation Christmas Child.
Yes, they had
this is the annual shoebox drive for kids overseas, and where local children fill a shoebox for kids overseas.
Exactly. And some children overseas, they usually go to third world countries.
Right.
And some children overseas, this is the only Christmas gift they get.
And I think it benefits the kids doing it as much as the kids receive, because they really
absolutely.
enjoy it.
They do.
Putting all
They
this stuff
do.
together,
Packing it all together.
Yeah, we stopped by the Tri-County Collection Spot this morning, which is the First Baptist Church in Angels Camp, where they were going to be collected over 2,500 boxes for Operation Christmas Child.
From just this area.
Just this area, over 2,500.
Amazing.
Talked to Patricia Hopper, and they were very pleased with the results. And next year, because this was the central one for Amador, Tuolumne, and Calaveras, what they're going to try to do next year is actually put a collection point in Amador and one in Tuolumne, so to try to help make it easier for people to work it out. Last year, there was over 7.5 million boxes
shipped worldwide
that went to 105 countries.
Yeah.
And some estimates, did you hear this? I think I heard an estimate. So this year there may be over 9 million.
Oh, I haven't heard the estimates for this year.
And that maybe end up being a little bit high, but I know that...
Well, it grows every year. It grows and grows and grows.
Yeah, and it's...
and it's a really worthwhile project, and it's put on... it's actually coordinated by Samaritan's Purse.
Yeah, it is a non-denominational thing that, across sections or even... No church affiliation if you wanted, but to contribute in the boxes. But it was
that's fantastic. And today was the last day.
Today was the last day. So if you missed out, I'm sorry.
You just have to plan for next year.
Plan for next year.
That's all. And let's see what we have here. Sheriff's log.
All right.
We have the new sheriff's logs up. And as I was scrolling through, I actually found an interesting one, which I've now lost.
Uh-oh.
So we'll see.
We'll do a 30-second piece here. If you drove through some of the local towns, you notice now all of the Christmas decorations are up. Right. So in downtown Angels Camp, you see the Angels Theater there and all the banner on the side. It's all festooned for Christmas.
And the parade is coming up.
The parade is coming up on the 1st, I believe.
Yes.
And Saturday so Angels Camp, it's all
festooned.
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 Okay.
Our word for the day. Festooned.
Festooned. That's right. Well, it looks like over the weekend the cows were busy. Cows Cow in the road, coaxed back into fenced area.
Coaxed
That was
back.
one cow incident.
Did they use a carrot or a stick?
Another one, cattle on the road.
Cattle.
So more than one cow. We had a lot of cows here. Cows in the roadway is another one. And then there were 5-gallon buckets that were abandoned by the highway.
Uh-huh.
And other than that, there was nothing other than regular stuff. Two calves were out as well.
Trespassing and various other misdeeds.
Exactly. Reporting of more cows on the road, suspicious parked vehicles, which are always very common apparently in Calaveras County, and DUIs and all that stuff.
Now on Saturday, we went and had lunch in San Andreas at the jail.
Oh, they have good food at the jail.
Yes. And this is what, they honored former sheriff Henry James. And Henry James was a sheriff in the early 50s, and his relatives donated his service revolver and also a double-barrel sawed-off shotgun that was one of his street sweepers, so to speak. That was part of his arsenal when he was sheriff. And it was a very, very nice thing. And another interesting thing about his nephew, I believe, is this man here on the left. All right, his service revolver was handed down, and it was his, and he kept it for a while, and passed it down to his son. And the interesting thing about the service revolver is it was stolen in a robbery from his son, and ended up being used in a couple crimes back in Colorado.
Oh, you're kidding!
So it kind of has that old west. It kind of has that, and then made its way back here. And but also another thing is we found fascinating is this man right here was a submariner in World War II.
Oh, really?
So,
wow.
Yeah, he served.
So it's a service-minded family.
Yeah, and he served aboard the submarine fleet in the World War II, and that was not. For those of you who know your history, that was not an unrisky
business. To say the least.
And it was he served the Pacific Fleet over in Japan. But anyway,
wow.
We have video up on the site if you want to see the interview with Betty and Bob Allred. They live over in Sonora.
Oh,
and
very nice.
they wanted to see the artifacts brought back to
Calaveras County.
Yep, and they served all the members of the press and the family a nice lunch. So we had lunch with Sheriff Downham and the family. And the county, some of the reason I think the jail is overcrowded is the jail chef, Swanee Stoner.
She's very good.
Yeah, I mean,
she's a
you may
good
not.
cook.
She is. So as I can see, if there's overcrowded, they can't get them to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's right. You get good meals and.
Yeah,
definitely.
And that was a nice. That was an
interesting
piece.
way to get a good meal, but.
Yeah, so we had carrot cake and.
So was Under Sheriff Walker there too?
He was not.
He was not there.
He was not.
Okay. So that was on Saturday, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And also up in Bear Valley, they had the fall open house and sale at the visitor center.
You mean Big Trees?
Big Trees, not Bear Valley. I'm very sorry. Big Trees.
They did.
And it was a lot of fun. We have a slideshow up on the site if you want to have a look at that, all the stuff. And they have a new mountain lion on display up there.
Do they? How long have they had that?
I think a few months, stuffed and mounted.
Okay.
It's their second.
Okay.
So
it was a busy weekend for everybody.
Yeah.
Definitely.
State stuff? Anything exciting?
Nothing too exciting. I guess Santa Ana winds are expected to kick up in this week, and they have the fires fully contained, but not fully out. So let's pray that nothing happens.
Yeah.
Later this week in Southern California. And this is what I thought was interesting. I was down, like I said, in Southern California, and I saw a lot of the fire areas.
Oh, did you see some?
And there was a fire area that was right across the freeway from a nuclear reactor. The fire came right up to the freeway, and then there was just the freeway, and then there's a nuclear reactor right next to the water.
Wow.
And nobody ever reported that. I mean, nobody ever said, Maybe we should clear the area just in case.
But in defense of them, those nuclear reactors
I
are
know
so
that.
over-engineered that it would be.
I know. There's enough redundancies.
It could burn over and probably be fine.
Exactly, because it's right next to the ocean. But I always find it interesting that they don't pick up on that stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Oops, we're burning near a nuclear power plant.
Exactly.
Huh? Yeah.
Oopsie-daisies.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, I always think that's interesting when you see things like that. And it's off to weather now.
Yes. A little touch on the national stuff is it looks like the Iowa should be very interesting for the Democrats and Hillary and stuff. It looks like, Anyway.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, Arnold. Low of 36 tonight, high of 56 tomorrow, low of 40 on Tuesday night, 57 degrees on Wednesday, and 58 degrees on Thanksgiving Day.
Ah, okay. Murphy's weather, Tuesday, sunny with a high of 62 degrees, Wednesday with a high of 64 degrees, sunny, and Thanksgiving Day, sunny with a high of 63 degrees.
Bear Valley, see, we like to see this. A slight chance of snow tonight.
That's right.
And I think everybody needs to start doing their snow dance or their, we need to get some snow up there, all right, and get it rolling.
Right.
There is a slight chance tonight. Low of 28, high of 44 tomorrow, 49 on Wednesday, and 50 on Thanksgiving Day in Bear Valley.
And in Angels Camp, Tuesday, high of 62 degrees and sunny. Wednesday, sunny with a high of 64 degrees. Thanksgiving Day, sunny with a high of 63 degrees.
Bangor, Maine weather. 37 degrees is a high today. 18 is the low. And tomorrow we have snow.
Is cold.
Tomorrow, snow. 36 is a high. 27 is a low. Wednesday, 41 with rain and showers. 33 a low, and 40 and rain on Thanksgiving as well.
Wow. Okay. Copperopolis, Tuesday, 62 degrees, sunny. Wednesday, 62 degrees and sunny. And Thanksgiving Day, 63 degrees and sunny.
Valley Springs. 63 today, 39, 62 and 42, 62 and 37, and on Thanksgiving, 62 and 39.
Oh, not too bad.
So pretty close to
Yeah,
Copperopolis?
pretty close to Copper.
Yeah.
1 degree difference on Thanksgiving Day.
1 degree of separation?
Yes, that's right.
Not 6 or 7?
Not 6 or 7, but
just
1.
one.
Just 1.
Yeah, 1
yes,
degree.
1 degree.
And we thank you very much for stopping by. We really appreciate it, and we will see you back tomorrow night on the celebrated nightly news of Calaveras County. We'll have more fun and exciting facts and factoids. Right?
That's right.
Good night.
Good night.